guys, welcome back to my channel. I hope you're having a fantastic day. As you can tell by the title, today's video is going to be another best slash worst products at the drugstore video. I've done quite a few videos in this series so far. I've done best affordable brushes, primers, bronzers, highlighters, I recently did a best and worst drugstore powders. So I've done quite a few videos like this before, and today's video is going to be focused on drugstore concealers. So I have all my drugstore concealers here in front of me, and we are just going to be talking about formulas, the good, the bad, and the ugly, my favorites, my least favorites, everything like that. So let's just get started. Alright, so the first concealer I'm going to talk about today is this one right here, and this is the Milani Retouch and Erase Light Lifting Concealer, and I have mine in the shade 01 Fair. So this concealer comes in 7 shades and it retails for $9 US. I have the lightest shade in the collection here, and I can get away with using this under my eyes to brighten, or when I'm less tan as I am right now, I can use this kind of for spot concealer and more on the skin. So out of all the concealers I have to talk about today, this is one of the thicker formulas. If you're looking for something that's full glam, you know, full coverage, you get the whole full-on beat, this is the concealer you're probably going to be interested in. You know, when I use this, it's because I want that really full coverage. It does have that thicker consistency, so I suggest blending this out with a sponge just so that it takes back a bit of that product, and then you get the best application. But it looks really nice under the eyes and on the skin. I would say, you know, you do have to set this concealer down so it doesn't crease or get cakey under the eyes, so keep that in mind. But it is a really nice formula. As far as the packaging goes, it's a squeezy tube, and then you get the sponge tip applicator. Not my favorite applicator ever. A lot of people don't like this applicator because it's not very sanitary, but if you think about it, a lot of concealers are not sanitary because they either have a wand or something that you are putting back in. You know, I feel like I go through concealers pretty fast, that I don't really have to worry about, you know, them collecting too much bacteria before I throw them out. So the applicator doesn't bother me that much. I think it makes it really easy to do spot concealing with, because you can just kind of press it on the spot you want to cover up, blend it out with your sponge, and then you're good to go. So this gives amazing coverage. It looks really nice, and I would say it's one of my more long-lasting concealers. So if you're looking something that will last throughout the whole day, this is it right here, and I highly recommend it. Alright, so the next concealer I have to talk about today is the LA Girl Pro Conceal, and this is the HD High Definition Concealer, and this is what this one looks like right here, another squeezy tube type concealer. So this one comes in 21 concealer shades, and it retails for $5, definitely one of the more inexpensive ones, and it has the best shade selection out of all the concealers I'm going to mention today. So a lot of people like getting this concealer in a lot of different colors so they can use it for cream contouring and kind of, you know, get more purposes out of this concealer, which I'm totally for, and I really like that they have so many shades. And then they also have 7 color correcting shades, and I've only tried the green color corrector, but it's one of my favorite color correctors I've ever tried. So they have the same formula, just keep in mind that you can get a concealer shade or a color corrector shade, and they have a ton of shades to choose from, a lot of different undertones and everything like that. So I have mine in the shade Porcelain, and that actually is the lightest shade in the collection. I haven't really been using this now that I'm more tan. It looks a little too light on me, but in the winter when I'm at my palest, this is perfect. So it has one of those brush tip applicators, so when you squeeze the tube, it comes out of the brush. Very, very easy to apply. The formula in this is more of a lightweight formula, making it very, very easy to blend, so you won't have any trouble blending this out. I actually really like to mix this concealer in with you know, like the Milani concealer or concealers that have that thicker consistency that can be harder to blend. This is really nice to mix into those. It gives pretty decent coverage. I would say it's like a medium-ish coverage, definitely buildable. It looks very, very nice on the eyes, and it's one of those concealers that, at least on me, it doesn't crease that much, so I don't have to go too heavy-handed with the powder, because it does kind of dry down to like a natural to matte finish. I think a lot of different people will like this, and it's very user friendly, so I highly recommend this one as well. Alright, next concealer I have to talk about is the Wet n Wild Illuminati Highlight and Concealing Pen, and this is what this looks like right here. So this one retails for $4.99 and it comes in 3 shades, which absolutely sucks. I think that's definitely not a big enough range, especially, you know, after we talked about the LA Girl one that comes in 21 different concealer shades. So you don't have a lot to choose from for this, but if you do have a color that matches you, I would recommend giving it a try. I have it in the shade Ivory Into You, and it's a good shade for me when I am more pale, and I can still use it right now if I really want a bright concealer. So this one right here is one of the twisty pens where if you twist it down here, it comes out on the brush tip applicator. It's not my favorite packaging. I just find that you don't get as much use out of your product because once there's less product in here, you actually can't get it out because nothing will twist, so that kind of sucks, but at least it is inexpensive, so you don't feel like you're wasting your money. This concealer right here is a really nice concealer, I would say, for all skin types. It's hydrating enough for dry skin, and it's not going to cling onto dry patches or exaggerate dry skin, but for oily skin girls out there, it's not going to make you more oily, because actually once you apply this, it does kind of dry down to like a semi-matte finish, so it does dry pretty fast. So when you're working with it, I would recommend working with it pretty fast, and I would recommend this concealer with either a brush or a sponge. I think either one works. My favorite way to apply concealers always is with a sponge, but I know there are a lot of people out there who like brushes, so that's why I'm letting you guys know how these work. Again, this is one of those concealers I like to mix in with other concealers if I want a little extra something. It's not super high coverage. Again, it will give you more of a natural finish, more of a natural coverage, but it is still really nice on the skin. It doesn't actually crease that much, which is really nice, and I think that's because it does kind of dry down after you're wearing it for a bit. So it is nice for any of you out there who want really quick makeup that's gonna blend out easily. You don't have to put in much work, and it's not gonna crease on you, and it's gonna last a long time. So I do like this concealer. So I do have another concealer from Wet n Wild, and that is the Wet n Wild Come Correct Celebrity Concealer. I'm not really sure why it's called the Celebrity Concealer, but it is. And it does only come in one shade, which is medium golden. It's the shade I have. I don't love this concealer. If you do have it, and if you are going to use it, I would recommend using it only for spot concealing. This is definitely not a concealer to use under the eyes. It is way too thick, in my opinion, to use under the eyes, and I think it's just gonna cake up. It's not gonna last very long because it is so thick, and it's gonna crease really easily, so it's just not my favorite. It's very hard to blend under the eyes as well. For spot concealing, it is okay, but because of the formula, it just kind of sits on top of the skin rather than working with the rest of your makeup and looking really flawless. As I said, just kind of sits on top of the skin, doesn't blend out very nice, and it gets oily very fast. So if you do have oily skin, or even if you have dry skin like me, you'll start looking shiny with this concealer pretty fast. So I don't love it. It's not my favorite, and I wouldn't really recommend it. This is just not my favorite concealer, so I don't use it that much. I'm just not the biggest fan of the formula. Next concealer I have to talk about is also from Wet n Wild. This is the last one I have to mention from Wet n Wild, and this is the Wet n Wild Photo Focus Concealer. This one retails for $3.99, and it comes in 6 shades. I have mine in the lightest shade, which is light ivory, I believe. I have mine in the lightest shade, which is light ivory. This concealer right here has more of a moussey texture out of the other ones I mentioned. It's more of that velvet moussey-like texture. And if you like that, you will really like this concealer. I would definitely recommend using this concealer with a sponge. I don't like it with a brush just because of the texture it has. With a brush, it just kind of doesn't blend as evenly as it does with a sponge. I do like how it wears, and as the name suggests, it does actually photograph really well, which is awesome. So if you're looking for something that's not going to give you flashback, this is definitely the way to go, and it does work fairly well with their other photo focus products, which is nice. Because of that more moussey-like consistency, I would make sure to set this. You don't need a lot of powder, not like a heavy hand of powder, but I would set it. And you know, this is great also for under eyes and spot concealing on the skin. You can definitely, you know, expand this out. It does kind of work well for all skin types, and it does last quite a bit of time. So I would recommend this concealer, and I think it is pretty good. Next concealer I have to talk about is the Rimmel Match Perfection Concealer. This one retails for $5.99. It comes in 6 shades, and I have mine in the shade 240 Fair / Light Neutral. So this is what this concealer looks like right here. Again, one of those squeezy tube concealers that has the brush tip applicator. I've been using this concealer for quite a while. It was actually one of my first concealers that I ever tried, and I guess from that day on it was one of my favorites. This is a really nice, like, lightweight concealer. I think this concealer is great if you like a more natural makeup look. It blends really nice onto the skin, and you don't really need foundation for this concealer to work. You can definitely apply it, you know, over bare skin or over you know, primed skin, and it will sit very nicely and kind of blend seamlessly into the skin, which is nice. But of course you can also use it for full glam days. This has like a natural finish to it. It's not like dewy or matte, so I think it's gonna suit a lot of people out there. And as I said, it's very more like light to medium coverage. It looks very healthy on the skin, and it just sits very nice. It's not gonna exaggerate any texture or anything like that, so I do enjoy it. Alright, so the next concealer I have to mention is the Catrice Liquid Camouflage Concealer, and this claims to be a waterproof high coverage concealer, which I would totally agree with. This concealer retails for $5.99, and it comes in 4 shades. I have the second latest one in the shade 005 Light Natural. This is just in a tube, and it has the doe foot applicator, which I have to say, it's like a bigger doe foot applicator that actually picks up a lot of products, so it's nice because you don't have to dip in a bunch of times. I will say the scent on this is kind of like paint smelling, but if you can get past that, then you will absolutely love this concealer. I do have to say, out of the ones I have to mention today, this is one of my favorite concealers, especially if I'm going a full glam, full coverage, everything like that. If I want a concealer to last from day to night, this is the one I'll reach for. And it's really nice to mix in just a bit of this concealer with any other concealer you're using that day, just because it will give it a little more coverage and make it last a little longer. I would recommend using this concealer with a sponge, since it does dry down faster. Therefore the sponge will help it blend a little better, and you'll just work faster bouncing it in really quickly with a sponge. I like this under the eyes for spot concealing, anything like that. It is very brightening, and it looks very nice under the eyes. I also love this on the eyes, like for priming my eyelids before I go in with eyeshadow. That's what I use today. It definitely makes color pop more, any concealer does, but this one, because it does dry down more matte, I do like it for using it on the lids too. And then you don't have to worry about using a lot of powder with this concealer because it does dry down, and I find that it doesn't crease that much either, which is amazing. I've heard so many people rave about it, and I'm definitely going to be another person raving about it because it's so worth it. I know it says it's waterproof, and I haven't like jumped in a pool to test that or anything, but the lasting power on this is pretty incredible. And if it's like a really hot day outside or something, I will definitely reach for this concealer because it just stays on my skin the whole day. It doesn't melt off. It looks flawless. It doesn't exaggerate texture or fine lines. It's just an amazing all-around concealer, and I would recommend it to any of you out there, and it has an amazing price tag too, so I love this guy. Next concealer I have to talk to you guys is from Maybelline, and this is the Maybelline Superstay Better Skin Concealer. This retails for $8.99, and it comes in 6 different colors, and I have mine in the shade Ivory 10. Now this one right here again is another tube with a doe foot applicator. The formula on this is really nice. It's a very lightweight formula, like very liquidy formula, and you just kind of glide this on. You can apply more of this and it's not gonna, you know, cake up or anything like that. It is a very nice concealer. I really like this under the eyes and kind of all over the skin too. I think Maybelline does it really well with concealers, and I do have some more to talk talk to you guys about. Also, I don't have it here, but the Age Rewind from Maybelline is a great under eye concealer. That one's amazing. I don't have that one anymore, but I did want to tell you guys about it. So this one right here, it's nice for oily skin or dry skin since it's oil free, and it just has a very beautiful look to it on the skin. This concealer looks amazing over any foundation you put it on, and it's one of those concealers again that you can wear alone without foundation and just use it kind of as a spot treatment, you know, to fix up like a little bit under the eyes, a little bit on any pimples or anything, and you just have a very nice no makeup look. Or you can wear it for full glam, so it's very, very versatile if you're looking for something that, you know, will suit any makeup look. This is the one to look for, and yeah, I love it. I can't say anything else. Alright, so the next concealer I have to talk about is the Dream Lumi Highlighting Concealer from Maybelline. This one retails for $7.99 and it comes in 6 shades. I have mine in the shade Ivory, and this is again one of those twist up brush head pen type clicky packaging concealers. This one is really nice if you are into a very natural glow from within, glowy illuminating makeup look. I would not use this for spot concealing, definitely not. It's just going to exaggerate any spot you put it on, but for the under eyes it is nice. I don't really like it on its own just because I want a little more full coverage, but if I'm doing like a no makeup look or something very fresh, I'm gonna reach for this concealer. But on days when I do like more full glam or want more full coverage, I'll put on like a more mattifying concealer like the Catrice one or something a little more full coverage, and then I'll just apply a little bit of this on top. It makes other concealers really, really easy to blend, and it just adds a little bit of a soft radiant look to any makeup look. So it is a very nice, if you're into that look, I would definitely recommend this. It's not the most long lasting concealer ever, but it does look very pretty on the skin. Alright guys, and the last concealer I have to talk to you guys today is the Fit Me Concealer from Maybelline. And if you guys have been following me for a long time, and you know that this is my all-time favorite concealer, and that's why I'm ending this video on this note. So this is what it looks like right here. It's just a tube, and you get your doe foot applicator, which this applicator doesn't have a stop or anything, so you do get actually quite a bit of product every time you dip back in, so I do like that. This retails for $6.99 and it comes in 3 different shades. Now when I'm more tan like I am right now, I'll use shade 10 to highlight under my eyes and to spot conceal, and then when I'm pale in the winter I'll use shade 15, which keep that in mind that actually shade 15 is lighter than shade 10 even though it's a higher number. I don't know, just look at the shades, not the numbers when you're buying them. So these are my like 2 go-to shades. If I get really, really tan, I'll go to shade 20, but usually I stick with these 2 right here. This concealer, guys, I don't even know where to start with it. It's just so amazing. If you're looking for the most beautiful finish concealer, this is it. If you have dry skin like me or more normal skin, this concealer is going to look nice and radiant. It's not going to be drying on the skin. It's not going to exaggerate your dry spots or under eyes like creep into fine lines or anything like that. It's just going to look very, very flawless on the skin. If you have more oily skin, I would use a you know, more mattifying powder with this, or go a little heavier handed with a powder. Loose powder goes great with this concealer, and you can definitely apply a lot and it's still gonna look nice over it. This concealer, I would say, has like a medium coverage, but you can definitely build it up. That's what I love about this concealer. You can go so heavy-handed. You could apply layer after layer and it still looks flawless. Like, it looks almost like skin when you have it on. It's insane. It does not crease that much. I am wearing it today and I've had this makeup on since like, what was it, like 2 o'clock, and now it's like 10, so I've had it on for a while. I can wear this concealer from day to night and it still looks amazing, and it's very easy to touch up during the day. It's one of those concealers that you can apply even on top of powder and it's not going to look messy, so it's definitely my favorite concealer just because it's so easy, you know. I can wear this on its own. Some days I won't even apply foundation if I'm doing a more natural look, and I'll literally just apply this anywhere I need it, and it looks great on bare skin too. So that's what I love about it. It's great on the actual face and under the eyes, so I just think it's so amazing. Blends out nicely, lasts a long time, doesn't crease. What more can you ask for? Am I right? So I absolutely am obsessed with the Fit Me concealer, and I had to talk about it in today's video. Alright guys, so that's all the concealers I have to chat to you guys about today. I hope this video was informative to any of you out there interested in some drugstore concealers or just looking for really good quality concealers that are very, very inexpensive, and also some concealers to maybe avoid. And also let me know down below in the comments what you guys want to see next in this series. If you want to see foundations or blushes or lip products or anything like that, let me know. But I hope you guys are having a fantastic day. I love you all so much, and I will see you in my next video. Bye guys.